has just unveiled an insane letter to Judge Arun. Listen, we are getting ready to meet you guys at the court tomorrow. But for now, we have to talk about Diddy and this letter. Let me give y'all the overview. One, it's pure comedy. Two, Diddy basically says he runs all the gangs in the jail and he's united everybody and ended violence. He is humble bragging, saying that he didn't know he was mistreating Jane. He thought he was taking care of a poor single mother and her child. And her child. And her child. I was about to say something, but we don't want to dox anybody. On top of that, Diddy made such fantabulous claims. When we are done laughing at this fool, at first I just thought, oh my God, this is his come up. Lock him up. See, here's the problem. Diddy actually thinks that we are stupid. Diddy thinks Judge Aaron's stupid. Diddy thinks that the same mess that worked on Mark Agnifilio worked on that jury is going to work with Judge Aaron. I hope to God he is wrong. But baby, let's get into this because if you want to laugh, you came to the right place. Let's go over some of the highlights before we get into his true mess, right? He does openings and he does fake apologies, okay? If you guys don't know, Diddy filmed this how you know this man is insincere. Diddy, remember when they said he was going to speak in front of court? He got a pre-taped 15-minute message that he once played in court. Now, part of me is like, you so fake and phony. What do you mean you got a message that you're going to no, it's beyond delusional. He's insulting, but he said that he was going to give a speech, which I was like, okay, let's get ready for the theatrics. But for some reason people really love performative mess. Me seeing somebody be like, I'm sorry, why they are facing going away for 10-20 years out of their life, to me I'm like, this is performative. You ain't sorry. And if you are, I better see some real thing. The fact that you are giving a 15-minute video lets me know two things. One, this is fake, this is phony, and scene. That's what I hear. And scene. We can wrap this up and go home. You are so fake and phony that you literally had to film it like it was a performance, which it is. Like it is a movie. Like you have to remember to say all your lines. I hope to God he does better than Cassie's apology, because that's what made. Remember when there were some people being like, well, I don't know what happened. And then Diddy showed up like this. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. What was the angle? Remember the angle? Yo. And are my eyes bloodshot enough, looking like he just came down from a Tucci bender? Yo, I want to just say, man, I don't know who that was. I mean, sometimes I look at there and I was like, who is that person? But, I got help. I got the things I needed. And now I'm stronger. Yo, I look at that and I'm like, who am I? And we saw that apology to Cassie when he got caught Molly, like literally, I don't want to be disrespectful, but dog walking her down the hall trying to drag her back to a freak off. And then and then this man literally, and then he thought, and in his mind, he's like, Dad, got it. Who did that? And did. And he thought we were all going to be like, okay. And after that, we were all like, guards, he got his phone again. We were like, throw this mug under the jail because that's where he belongs. So I think he has new lights and he's going to be for 15 minutes, action camera, looking at Q crying, doing all that mess. So first of all, it's going to be pre-taped. How sincere can we take a pre-taped? Why don't you run and why is it pre-taped when you're going to be sitting in front of the judge? Do you know how odd that is? That's like someone begging for your forgiveness, and they're like, "No, just wait," and you're like, "All right, what you got to say?" And they literally like be like, "Hold on," and hold their phone up and put on like, "Please don't go away from me" by Boys and Men. Please don't go away from me. Like, what are you doing? That's like literally, hold on, I got something to say. And what does he think this is? Say anything with John Cusack holding up a boombox? Say something, I'm giving up on you. Why would I watch a videotape statement while you are sitting in front of me? Why don't you just say what you got to say? I know why, because you need to make sure you got your lines in order. You need to make sure you got them lights, you got them cameras, you got the action, baby. That, oh, also, did you hear that tomorrow? Okay, we're about to get into Diddy's letter. Let me just brush you guys up. First of all, the judge said Mia can say whatever the F she want in his court of law, and Diddy big mad. They literally are throwing a temper tantrum, right? On top, I can't wait to see Diddy say, yo, this last couple of days, they've been crazy, man. Have they? Heck, sit your ass down. Anyway, right? Sit your ass down before I sit you down. Anyway. Yo, Friday's gonna be a wild day, and all the they're thinking it's gonna go into Monday because all the lawyers want to say something too. It's gonna be at least 7 hours, and the prosecution hasn't even said, and we don't know who on the prosecution side. Also, this little 15-minute video that Diddy wants to film, what's he gonna do? Take this money. He gonna turn around. Hold on, where are my glasses when I need them? Hold on, really quick, you guys. Hold on. He gonna Ah, I don't know where my glasses are. I need my glasses. Where are they? Have you seen my sunglasses? Anyway, they going, I'm trying to find my props, but once again, I have failed myself. Um, where are my glasses? Hold on, guys. Ah, they're right behind me. So this is gonna be Diddy in his thing. Yo, this is gonna be Diddy doing the Harlem Shake. Your Honor, yeah, like, did he just gonna be acting a fool, doing the Harlem Shake, doing whatever, making up excuses, just making a fool of himself? And I don't care. I know his idiot's gonna be like, because there is a certain stream of women that all a man gotta do is be like, I saw we and their hearts melt. I know the men in your life be spitting on you, calling you dumb, and you still gotta cook. So to hear a man humble himself even that much, you're like, my God, baby, mom, I don't got that mammy gene. My mom didn't raise me like that. No, 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 no. Anyway, let's get into Diddy's letter because I feel like I'm giving too much away. I feel like I'm giving too much away. What you say? You ain't got all day? You want the highlights? Okay. Before I block you, I'll give you the highlights. Here we go. Um, he did a gang unity miracle. He's a martyr. He's flexing that he's sober. He is also a hero teacher. And the conditions he's saying are human rights, a human rights abomination. And he's saying that, um, listen, he says, this is the one thing I do love, make me an example. Instead of accepting his punishment, he tries to flip it and do some stupid Jedi mind control stuff on Judge Aaron, saying, make him an example of second chances, not accountability. Did he? I know Judge Aaron is rolling his eyes so much. And I do remember when Judge Aaron issued his opinion on Diddy's new trial, and he read Diddy down to the thumbtacks, to the white meat. When I read that opinion, why do I feel like Judge Aaron, when Diddy got Diddy's request for a new trial, he was like, clerks, get here. Weekend, come on, it's go time. And he got every clerk he could to come in here. And when I say that rejection of his new trial is so airtight, Diddy ain't getting another one. Trishawn, what's up? Said, you might not see this, but I want to let you know you guys are doing amazing. Aw, covering this story. Love you much. I love you too, Trishawn. You've been with me for so long. Thank you so much, Trishawn. Okay, here we go, right? Listen. Okay, let's get into this. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready to laugh? Put your hands together for Diddy. Okay, so first of all, let's bring out the small Tisa. Okay, when it's a small Tisa, you know we about to talk trash. All right, so should we read it in a Diddy voice? Yo, Dear Judge Submarinian, you think Diddy's mad at Young Miami for her Dear Your Honor? Do you think he's mad about the Dear Your Honor thing? And with the Dear Your Honor, we have been laughing at him ever since. Do you think that's actually what's going on? I think he's probably mad at her. You know, Diddy, he don't like nobody to embarrass him, and that was embarrassing. Mm. Yo, I hope this letter finds you well and in good health and spirits. I know that Diddy Judge Aaron read that first line and said, hope you find me well and in good spirits. So I'm doing lovely. I'm eating steak, fettuccine, veal, lobster, whatever you want. I can order it even if I don't have it. Yo, come on, order that DoorDash. You hope I'm well and in good health and spirits. Mofo, I'm doing lovely. All right. Thank you for the opportunity to express my thoughts to you. First and foremost, I want to apologize and say how sincerely sorry I am for all of the hurt and pain I've caused others by my conduct. I take full responsibility and accountability for my past wrongdoings. Make sure you listen to this one. Take this money. I run this city. Send the cops, the DA, the feds to come. Okay. This has been the hardest 2 years of my life. But Diddy's team is trying to say Diddy had a hard life. This has been the hardest 2 years in your life. This has been the hardest 2 years in your life, even more than losing the mother of your kids, even more than using Biggie's death to catapult you. This has been the hardest 2 years in your life, even more than your father dying when you were young. Damn, damn. If I was Diddy's kids, I'd be looking at him sideways. This is the hardest thing you're going through? Okay. And I have no one to blame for my current reality or situation but myself. Damn right. Damn right. You the only one to blame, and you are the only one we are blaming. So okay. 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 Oh, Belinda Formosa said, thank you for covering this case. Roll on tomorrow or Monday. Listen, I'm gonna be here tomorrow or Monday. I'm definitely gonna be here tomorrow. And Monday, I'll cover it too. Anyway, Diddy had a ping of self-realization. He says, I have nobody to blame but myself. He said, Yo, Yana, in my life, I made many mistakes and did, but I'm no longer running from them. Well, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for the hurt I caused, but I understand that the mere words I'm sorry will never be good enough, as these words alone cannot erase the pain for the past. All right. Yana, over the past 13 months, 13 months, this man is 55. So basically, what's 1 year out of 55? That's like 0.5% of his life, right? I don't know. Is that right? 0.5% 1 year? What's the math on that? Hold on. Let's ask my best friend. This is important. It's important to my jokes. So I need this information. If somebody is 55, 57, let's just say 58. Let's just say they're 60. If someone's 60 and they have and they've been in jail for 1 year, what percentage of their life is that? This is important to my future jokes. It's 2%. Diddy, you shut your dumb ass up and go make some beats. You been in jail for 2% of your life. And you expect me to believe that you are sitting there talking about a whole new world. Is that like, what do you think is going on? I'm sick of this man. I'm sick of this man already. Hey, Natasha, what's up? You said drum roll for Tisa's dramatic reading of P. Diddy. Come on. I wish I had some music that wasn't copyrighted. Tootsie roll, to the left, to the left. Okay, anyway. For 2% of my life, I've had to look in the mirror like never before. My pain became my teacher. This man think he Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi. My sadness was my motivator. I have to admit, my downfall was rooted in my selfishness. Maybe if you think you're lonely now, wait until tomorrow night. This is not your downfall. This isn't even the consequences of your actions. This is on the start of the consequences of your action. What's up, Donna? Donna said, love you. Be safe out there. Don't worry, Donna. I will be 100% safe. Thank you for that. The scene and images of me assaulting Cassie play over and over and over in my head daily. Does it? Or are you thinking about the freak off that was happening before? Are you thinking, man, what? Again, I don't know. Diddy a little twisted. It might be playing for different reasons. I literally lost my mind. I was dead wrong for putting my hands on the woman that I loved. Now you're gonna have to stop. Already he's with his BS. You dead wrong for putting. Why is he still trying? And this is what I mean about Diddy is so far gone. He don't even know how far he gone. Stop. Cat. Here's the thing, and I just want to say this, right? Where did we train men and women to believe that if you put the word love in something, it overcomes everything? It does not. It don't mean ish. Nobody cares. F your love, ninja. What are you talking about? Think about this. The girl said, I felt like I was trafficked. The girl said, I have to get daily counseling. The girl says, I live in fear. The girl says, it's shaken me. The girl says that it basically has ruined her life physically and psychologically. You hear that and you still want to call it love? When are we going to start saying that it does? And again, I get why the jury didn't get it, because I feel like boomers and Gen X, they really don't get it. Millennials start getting it. And then, I'm sorry, boomers and yeah, Gen X don't get it. Millennials kind of get it. Gen Z definitely get it. It doesn't matter what your intentions were. It matters how the person experienced it. I could say I love you with all my, let's look at this. Silence of the Lambs. Misery with Kathy Bates. Did they not love that person? How many cycles have done the most insane, disgusting things and been like, but I love them? How are you going to say, I can't believe I did that to someone I love? So because you felt like you loved them, that makes everything okay? Again, I know that he's a liar. I know that he's ridiculous. I know this is so insulting, but can I just say, and it needs to be said, how does that change anything you did because you said you loved them? How does what your intent change what your actions are? And if you love them so much, then do you want that for your sons? Do you want that for your daughters? Let's be real. I want to be real. And this is no disrespect to Diddy's children. But if that was the twins, if that was the cutie in NYU, if that was baby love, you think Diddy would be sitting there being like, oh, do you think? Do you think? Do you think? Now, I do know, like most men like that, he think he the biggest, baddest thing on the block, and nobody would ever touch his daughters like that. And let me be clear. I hope to God they never run into a man like their dad. I hope to God, pray on it, no woman ever runs into a man like Diddy, but especially the girls. So you keep saying love, 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 Mark Agnafilio. You doing that to your wife? Brian Still, you doing that? Oh, okay. It's only Diddy with these powerless women that somehow the jury felt, and Generation X and boomers got a problem with it, that as long as you say you love someone, they can do anything and everything they ever wanted to do to you. I literally lost my mind. I was dead wrong for putting my hands on the woman that I loved. And I know all the people that ain't shit gonna be like, he loved her. So F your love. I'm sorry for that and always will be. Again, I'm sorry for that and always will be. I'm sick of Diddy playing in our faces. You cannot expect us to believe that was the only time you ever really put your hands on Cassie. That was the only time that was actually caught on court. But they'd be like, yo, I'm sorry for that. As if it was a one off. Yo, I'm sorry for that and always will be. My domestic violence will always be a heavy burden that I'll have to carry forever. How come you're not talking about Jane? Okay. The remorse, the sorrow, the regret, the disappointment, the shame. I honestly feel sorry for something that I couldn't forgive someone else for. Oh, he did say this. I'm reading this real time. If they put their hands on one of my daughters. So like most abusers, Diddy has like a whore Madonna complex. His daughters are pure. He would never accept a man treating his daughters the way that he treats the women around him. Yo, this is narcissistic gaslighting at its finest. This is why it's so hard for me to forgive myself. It's like a deep wound that leaves an ugly scar. The only ugly thing I saw around here was your roster, your escort roster. I guess because Diddy didn't want to pay because he was always bargaining. He couldn't get. I just assumed if you're paying for D, you would get like genetically gifted specimens. I didn't know that it'd be like the Ooga Booga hit with an ugly stick coalition. I'm not saying they're ugly. I'm just saying I wouldn't pay. And if they were paying, I would not accept money. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I would not accept money for the services. They could pay me and I'd be like, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm off of it. His roster. Mm, Yana, I thought I was oh my God. Yana, I thought I was providing for Jane concerning her and her child. But after hearing her testimony, I realized that I hurt her. For this, I am deeply sorry. I'm sorry. You guys, can we take a moment of silence? First of all, Diddy, you ain't slick. I'm familiar with your game. Diddy is doing this thing that a lot of narcissists do. You know what Diddy's doing, right? I was talking to my bestie, and she's right. Diddy is doing what, you know, when it's like interview 101, when they tell you to take a weakness, when they say, so what do you think your weakness is? But then you really give a strength and play that as a weakness. That's what Diddy's doing. Also, he's trying to humble brag. To who? Judge Aaron? Forget about everything Jane said. Forget about the bruises. Forget all that, right? Yo, I thought I was providing for Jane or her. Because you still go everything down to financial. I was providing for Jane. So because you're providing for someone, you can put your hands on them. Because you're paying for someone, you own their body, which I do believe. Because after everything he did to Cassie, when she left, he tried to get Cassie to pay him back for the personal training sessions that he paid Alex. What? Anyway, please, you should have doubled it, tripled it. I'm gonna make more money than him. I'm gonna buy his house from him. I'm gonna put it on sale again. I'm gonna triple. Anyway, that's what triple it, Cassie. Triple it up. Anyway, right? Yeah, and I thought I was providing for Jane and concerning her and her child. Jane literally said some of the most graphic testimony, which you said was you agreed to it. And now you want to boil it down to you were providing for her and her child by doing freak offs in her house, by making her rub God knows what else on your chesticle. You thought you were providing by leaving her to clean the filth out of your life in her house, but you couldn't have that mess around your children. Gotcha, gotcha. Yana, I lost my way. I got lost in my journey, lost in drugs and excess. My downfall was rooted in my selfishness. I've been humbled and broken to my core. Jail is designed to break you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Over the past year, which is about 1.67% of my life, over the 1.67% of my life, there's been so many times I wanted to give up. There have been so many days I thought I would be better off dead. The oh, so now you're a freedom fighter. It almost broke me. A lesser person would have been broken, but not me. I'm P. Diddy. I survived. That's great. Go survive your ass back in there for another 8, 9, 10 years. Yeah, there have been the old me died in jail, and a new version of me was reborn. That sounds like a threat. The old you died in jail and a new version was reborn. I mean, from every movie I've seen, don't ish happen good when somebody says the old me died in jail? That's when they be doing those push-ups with bleeding knuckles, going in and like pounding somebody into the ground until they stop moving. And you just see their fingers trembling and they just like pounding people in, and then their fingers just become more and more bloodied and they get up and there's blood on their face and they turn around and everybody in the jail is like, and then they just go to their jail cell unexplicably and start doing pull-ups off of something in the room, just doing pull-ups, looking like, when I get out, that's your ass. Um, that sounds like a threat to me. Your Honor, I think he threatening us. The old me died in jail, and a new version of me was reborn. Prison will change you or kill you. I choose to live. Yo, Diddy gets on my nerves. This is so. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Yeah, Diddy, but I don't know. I feel like he's like, hold on, what Jamie got to say? She said, um, Jamie said, prison will change you or kill you. I choose to live. Okay, so you can live another 11 years over there. Exactly. Diddy, y'all, we're only on page one. Diddy has painted himself as a martyr, as a survivor. He's done what every narcissist did and said that he almost lost the will to live. Boy, you ain't lose nothing. He almost lost the will to live, but I chose to live. Um, okay. He's also played the whole, you know, his greatest weakness is his strength. I thought it was providing for Jane and her kid. And to Cassie, someone I love. Ninja F your love. Anyway. Yeah, and every day since my incarceration, as difficult as my circumstances currently are, I've made the best of my time by reading books, writing. We know you writing because we're working out. That's a MF and lie. I saw you in court. You've not been working out. You better stop. That's what I was telling y'all 5 months ago. I was on a diet. Shut up. I was not. My diet was I was eating 4 donuts instead of 5. But Diddy, I saw you in court. You MF and lie. Working out where you must have been doing light cardio. Very emphasis on the very light. And I was in therapy, obtaining the tools and knowledge to deal with my past drug use and anger issues. I've been putting in the work and working diligently to become the best version of myself to ensure that I never make the same mistake again. We don't believe you. You need more people. I've been working on myself, reading books. I hope Judge Aaron says, what book you been reading? And when Diddy gives him it, what's the plot? Give me a synopsis. I would tell my clerk, check it, run it through chat. What's the synopsis? What's the thing? Writing. Writing what? Please. Probably writing out the lyrics to Khalees. I hate you so much right now. Working out, liar. And therapy, obtaining the tools and knowledge to deal with my past. Yana, I realize I'm in a situation, with no amount of money, power, or fame can save me. Only God can save me. Well, what you writing this letter for? You better get on your knees. My grandmother used to teach me that God makes no mistakes and that everything he does is good for you. I believe, did you see that one thing, character reference? There is some pastor, preacher, spiritual guidance out of Miami that told us that first of all, whoever goes to that church, mm, that if he wants Judge Aaron to release Diddy to him and he personally takes responsibility for anything, for Diddy's spiritual guidance if he's let out of jail early. And I said, no, I don't trust. No, 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 no. I do not trust religious people when they say that and they take personal responsibility, especially when they say they just have to go in front of their God and ask forgiveness and only God can judge you. If something happens, you're just going to go in front of God, cry, pray, then turn to the congregation and be like, thank you, Lord, for your infinite forgiveness. Man, shut up. I need to know what God you follow. Is it the Old Testament or the New Testament? Because the New Testament is like rainbows and lollipops, and that's the way I love you. And the Old Testament is like, I will kill you. The Old Testament believed in plague, believed in breaking you down, believed in making you cut the baby in half. The Old Testament God, like, what God do you follow? Because if it's New Testament, mm-mm. If it's Old Testament, still no, because I know you're going to flip the New Testament if you see Diddy do something. Lord, thank you. There going to be some girl that pays for Diddy going crazy if my suspicions are true. And you're going to be in front of your congregation. Lord, forgive me. I don't have the will to move forward. I have sinned, Lord. I thought he was a good man. Get out of here. And this is my issue with religion, right? God is beautiful, but I mean organized religion. Organized religion has a tendency when somebody is power hungry and narcissistic. I'm not talking about that preacher anymore. I'm talking about Diddy, that they can very, very well hide behind it because everything that happens, God was behind. When you abuse someone, no, 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 no. God put you in her life to this and that. You were a tool from God. No, this was God's purpose. God put you in her life to abuse her because God had bigger things than you. God is always involved in some BS. God is always starting in their things, some demonic stuff, and they're nothing but a tool from God. So every time I hear people when they do horrible things and they start bringing up God, I'm like, it sounds like narcissistic not only abuse, but narcissistic gaslighting, but narcissistic excuses, right? Here we go. Next line. Y'all believe that a bad situation can be used for good. That's right. This bad situation can be used for you to get your daily steps in on a figure eight in that jail. Yo, though the situation has been the hardest and darkest time in my life, more than when Kim died, more than when Biggie died, more than when your daddy died when you were little, darker than that? Okay. Good things have to come out of my incarceration. For starters, I'm not sober for the first time in 25 years. It's not going to last. Forced sobriety is not sobriety. It's not. And did anybody drug test them? Because the MDC do be getting mess moved through there. But forced sobriety is not sobriety. And especially this, you didn't use, here's the thing, Diddy didn't use drugs to as an escape. He didn't. He used them as an enhancer for his sexual activity. See, here's the thing. Maybe if it was like, you have like some type of latent psychological thing, there's this trauma you're trying to submerge. You've told us, and your lawyers have told us that you had an exceptional childhood. You had no trauma. You're doing really well. So the drugs were to party. You like to get loose. You like to get free. And half the time, you just liked being high and you were super, super high performing and you liked forcing drugs, according to your victims, down their throat because forcing it down their throat because you liked it when you could push their boundaries and have them doing crazy ish for you. You loved it. For starters, I'm now sober for the first time in 25 years. I've been trying my best to deal with my drug abuse and anger issues and take accountability as well as positive steps toward healing. One of the most beautiful things I've experienced is being asked by my fellow inmates to teach and mentor them. Who would ask Diddy to mentor them? Diddy hasn't even given game to his kids. What kids got $1 billion empire? What are his kids actually doing? Yes, I know the girls are just now starting their clothing line, but what else is going on? Anyway, um, hold on. So anyway, it's like they wanted to learn, they wanted to learn what I did to become a successful businessman. I mean, bang, bang. Yeah. And then in the corner with a burqa on. Yeah. That's what you did to become a professional businessman. Okay. I was inspired by their hunger and desire to learn information in order to not only set goals, but achieve any goal dream that their hearts desire. I started teaching a 6-week program called Free Game, title given by my fellow inmates, which I was able to have approved and sanctioned by the Bureau of Prisons. I don't just teach about my success, I also teach about my mistakes and failures. It has truly been a blessing to do something positive in a negative situation. It's been beautiful to see the newfound hope in my inmates' eyes. This mofo really think he Martin Luther King. The most shocking thing was to see the unity and peace this class has produced. Here it comes, y'all. As you're probably aware, jails and prisons are segregated places. However, in our class, we have Black, Spanish, white, Asian, all together in one room, learning and working together. We even have an interpreter for the Spanish speaking inmates. The biggest miracle that I've seen with this class is all of the gangs, such as the Bloods, Crips, M13s, Trinitarios, and 18 Shriffs in one room working together. Diddy said he done united the gangs. Diddy said he's done united the gangs. You see all that working together? There's a lot of segregated places. Diddy ended gang violence. He working together. This is ridiculous. But let's keep going. In one room working together. I'm also proud to say that since this class started, there have been no fights in our unit. Again, he ended gang violence in his unit, all from the free game class. So in the 6 weeks, Diddy Judge Aaron is stupid. And again, may the Lord never curse me to be in front of somebody like Diddy, because when you're on the outside looking in, it seems absolutely ridiculous. But there's something he has that when you're actually in front of him, people believe this stuff. And I don't know what it is. Um, I'm also proud to say that since my class, there have been no fights in our unit. This class has also helped me in my time in need of despair. Being able to do something good for others has also given me much needed hope. God bless me with this opportunity to help others, and I will continue to do so. Agree. You will, because listen, if you made this much change, Judge Aaron, we can't let this man out. Look at the good he's done in a small amount of time. Keep his ass in there. Make him do a tour, that bad boy reunion tour. Make him do a tour a year in each jail. You see the way he united gangs doing this, all that. Make him become the Sojourner Truth of the MDMC. What are you talking about, Diddy? You trying to say you ended gang violence in your unit? Diddy is delusional. He is a liar. Not even that. Since this class started, there have been no fights in our unit. The MDC person that used to run it said there was never hardly any violence in that unit. He is such a twister of the truth. And the fact that he's going in front of Judge Aaron, I know Judge Aaron is like, anyway, child, let's move on. Being able to good, God bless you. God is going to continue to bless you with this opportunity for about 11 more years. I ask you for mercy today, not only for my sake. Here it comes, because you know he always got to tell us how he the best daddy in the world. And I find that very insulting to the actual real fathers and men that put in the work. I know that Diddy derelicts want you to believe that this is actually how love is. There are real fathers that don't raise their hand to the mothers. Honor their mothers, marry their mothers. If they're not married, treat them lovingly, treat their girls with respect, show their sons how to be. Probably the same way Brian Still is, Xavier Donaldson is, Mark Agnafilio is. Instead of literally trying to make it seem like, oh, this is just the way certain people in the lifestyle live, the fact that he keeps hiding behind his children because we're supposed to believe that that's a true example of the judge. Listen, again, if you guys are just catching up, I just want to run you through to what Diddy's been talking about. Diddy says his prison class ended gang violence in his unit. We're just going to do a run through real quick. He claims the Bloods, the Crips, the MS-13s, the Tritarios, and the 18th Street are all peacefully attending his mentorship class with an interpreter. You guys, I don't know. Sound like a lie to me. He's putting on the martyr act. He frames his suffering as a blessing, prison as a spiritual rebirth, implying he's a role model for redemption rather than the focus of massive abuse allegations. He's flexing that he's sober for the first time in 25 years. I have doubts based off of this letter, but okay. Um, and the fact that this man that's almost 60 is presenting it that the court should reward him in any way or shape or form, right? For not being on drugs, finally, after decades, over like decades of abuse, right? And he expects us to ignore completely the context of the criminal charges. Oh, let's not forget, if you guys are just joining us, he is a hero teacher. He claims that he's teaching inmates how to be successful businessmen, inspiring hope and hardened gang members. It reads like a self mythology. He's writing his own legend mythology, right? Rather than a credible rehabilitation story, which I find odd because did he say that his life was in danger while he was in there? I think they said somebody sharpened a toothbrush or something and tried to attack him. Was that before or after the class? Because I don't know. I think he said this happened after the class. I don't know. It was all redacted, so who knows? Um, let's keep going. I ask for your mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children. God blessed me with 7 beautiful children, 3 sons and 4 daughters. Their names are Quincy, Justin, Christian, Chance, Jesse, Delilah, and the newest addition, a 2-year-old daughter, Love. 4 of my children lost their mother, Kim Porter, as she tragically passed away in 2018. We are not going to speak about the way Diddy treated Kim Porter, about the way he allowed other women to disrespect her, about the way that, but I do know that Diddy takes advantage of the fact that most of the people that follow him lack critical thinking skills. And again, I will say this. I don't care if somebody accepts treatment. It is unacceptable to treat another human being like that. That's all I'm saying. If somebody says, I don't care, I just want to be your slave, Mr. Diddy, I will stand there and say it is unacceptable to have slaves and you just can't. I don't care that you found a willing dum dum to do it. 4 of my children lost their mother. I'm their only parent. You're their only parent, but you said you were high for the last 25 years and you were cheating and beating and living life selfishly. When were you being a parent? You're the only parent they have. This is the first time, I think, in almost all their lives that they've seen you sober, correct? But maybe that's just me. Um, I'm their only parent. Yo, I failed my children as a father. Facts. My father was murked when I was 3 years old, so I know firsthand what it is not to have a father. But you said it wasn't that big a deal because this is the darkest time you've had, not your dad. More than anything, I just want the opportunity to return home and be the father they need and deserve. Yo, God bless me with the greatest mother in the world. My mother sacrificed her life and dreams to provide for me and my younger sister, Keisha. And look what you did with that opportunity. Look what you did. Because that's the thing. A lot of people say that, like, Janice Combs might have had something to do with Diddy's trauma. Maybe not. Diddy could have just been born a bad apple, and Janice Combs literally just overindulged her son because his father passed away. Yo, she worked 3 jobs to make sure we had a roof over our heads, clothes on our backs, and the best education. My mother is now 84 years old, and she recently had brain surgery. Oh, that's sad. But again, this is what I mean about Diddy playing this victim card. Why? Why on earth? You're the one that did this. All these gifts you got from God, all these gifts you got born with, all these gifts you got from your mother's sacrifice, and you chose to literally um like torture women and beat on them and then mock them and humiliate them. Anyway, despite her own health challenges, she attended my trial every day. I've always been her primary caregiver. It breaks my heart that I put myself in this situation, and for the first time, I'm able to be there for my mother when she needs me most. As I write you this letter, I'm scared to death, scared to spend, I love the way this sounds, turn it up, scared to spend another second away from my mother and my children. I'm no longer care about the money or the fame. There's nothing more important to me than my family. Listen, I can call Diddy a liar all day and night. I will say this, and it needs to be said. Um, how Diddy is not sorry. Diddy is, for the first time in his life, in my opinion, feeling the consequences of his actions. There is a good chance, like, let's just talk about in real terms. Remember when, I don't know, you're late again and you're about to get fired from a job, or you did something and you're like, please, 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 God, please, I swear to you, if you just get me through this, I promise I'll go to church every Sunday. I promise I'll do this. I promise, please, God, just please, please, please get me through this. And you get through it. Are you in church? Are you really, do you like, please, 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 I promise you, let me go. I promise I'll be in the gym every day. I'll do this, I'll do that. And you do it. And then what happens? Nothing. See, Diddy, everybody talks this way when they are facing the consequences of their actions. There is nothing you have done at all, even in trial, to show that you took accountability and that you are changed. This is circumstantial. That's not the same as true change. Even this, it's sad what's happening to his family and his mom. It honestly is. Diddy got a cute family. His mom, I look at her, she looks like my grandmother, literally. It's sad to see, but at the end of the day, you put your family in time. So why is managing your emotions a group project? The girls got to manage them. The people got to write. Why is managing your life? You take all the money and all the spoils and all the fame, and you never stop. You were like no face and spirited away. You just kept consuming everything. The minute you got caught, now all of a sudden your rehabilitation has to be a group project. No. Anyway, for over a year, I've been locked in one room with 25 other incarcerated people sharing the same one room. Yes, that's jail. Are you writing Yelp reviews? This is jail. All right. In this room that I share, there are no windows. There is no natural clean air. There is no sunlight. We all live in one room. Yeah, I think that's what's really bugging him. He feels like a king that's been dethroned. And of course, there is no natural air, no sunlight, and all in one room. We saw the Shawshank Redemption. We can't give you a window and a spoon, please. Then there's like a poster, probably because he's such a narcissist, a Diddy poster hanging out. We saw the Shawshank Redemption. I know how this goes. But all jokes aside, too, listen to this, right? We eat, we sleep, we use the toilet, we take showers, and prepare meals all in the same room. They got a kitchen where the toilet is? Where? That sounds like a Westin Inn. There's a toilet. Wait, what? Is there? Hey, Valentine TV, thank you. Hit the like button. I'm confused. Are there toilets? Are there kitchens in jail? I'm confused. LA Young, thank you for being a member for 11 months. At Tisa, tell the truth and nothing but the truth. I'm hoping the judge takes all of this observations for sentencing and shock everyone. I love you too. Thank you. No, I agree with you. Chaos Forever said, sorry, all I've heard is your stop. William Livingston said, Diddy, could you just go to prison already? Exactly. William, that's a word, William. Exactly. Valentine TV said, hey, Tisa, and my Fit Tattletail family, I'm fine. I also have my Tisa. Oh, thank you. You guys, I am selling Yana t-shirts and Diddy did it. We're going to have to change that to like Diddy locked up. Anyway, but let me just say this. The conditions of my actions have placed me in are inhumane. I don't tell you this for pity or sympathy. I'm simply sharing my truth and truth of my fellow incarcerated people. We have no clean drinking water, and we boil our drinking water. They don't have access to tap water. Now they boiling water. We all share one washing machine. Okay, my first apartment had 0 washing machines. Okay, you want to talk about the gutter? How about washing a shirt the night before, forgetting, hanging it up, and for whatever reason it can't dry, and you go in the next morning and that bad boy is still damp. You want to talk about hardship? I didn't have a washing machine in my first apartment either, at all, at all. And it was too late to go over to my parents' house and use their washer and dryer. Please. Listen, Chaos Forever said Diddy's fan club, get free baby oil. I love that. Casper, I love that. Didiots. Yes, the Didiots. That's what we call the people. And Donna W said, dorm style jail. They have rooms for 2. Exactly. He's just lying, Donna. Listen, exactly. That's hardship when you got to go somewhere and the shirt you thought would be at least half dry. Because again, when you first move out, you're used to like your parents' amenities and whatnot. And my mind, I went to bed at about like, I was doing it, dipping and diving. I went to bed about 3:45 and washed the shirt out and billy it. But somehow I thought that if I did it and I hung it up, it would be completely dry by 7 a.m. So we all been there, Diddy. You don't see me riding Judge Aaron, but that said, I've kept my hands and feet to myself. Anyway, right? Um, we all share one washing machine, which is broken. All by myself. I don't want to be. I'm surrounded. Wait, what? Wait, I'm confused. Did he just say that he freed the last of the Mohicans in his last paragraph, right? I'm surrounded by drugs and live every day with a constant threat of being stabbed or losing my life. Again, I'm not expecting pity or sympathy, but my time at the MDC has changed me forever. Okay, class, if we could just go back up to this, where is it? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Um, the most shocking thing was to see the unity and peace this class has produced. As you're probably aware, jails and prisons are segregated places. However, in my class, we have Black, Spanish, white, Asian all together in one room lurking, check notes. We have an interpreter. Oh, here we go. The biggest miracle I've seen with this class is all the gangs, such as the Bloods, the Crips, the M13s, Trinitarios, and 18th Streets, in one room working together. I'm also proud to say that since this class started, there have been no fights in our unit. Cut to how many paragraphs later? One, two, wait, not even two. No, one, two. Uh, and three paragraphs later, and the third paragraph is three sentences. I understand the one factor the court has to consider is deterrence. Deterrence for me and for others to ensure that no one follows in my footsteps and makes the same mistakes. That was the third paragraph. Two sentences. Cut to, we are in the middle of the fourth paragraph where he says, I am surrounded by rugs and live every day with the constant threat of being stabbed or losing my life. What is this the same place where he's proud to say that since the class started, there have been no fights in his unit? Man, did he just be lying? And the Didiots, shout out to you, the Didiots have been falling for it. Shout out to Chaos Forever for coining the Didiots. They are falling for that hook, light, and sinker. Again, I'm not expecting pity or sympathy. That's good because you ain't getting none. But my time at the MDC has changed me forever. Prior to being in jail, I took care of and was present for my family. How, when you said you've been drug addicted for 25 years? Being in jail and because of my conduct, I lost the ability to care for my mother. Janice Combs lived in Florida. When were you caring for your mother? When were you caring for your mother? When? When? And you could still be paying KK to pay for her. I assume you mean by hiring assistants, but that's on me. Being in jail, and because of my conduct, I lost the ability to care for my mama. I lost the ability to effectively raise and support my children. Aren't your boys, I don't know, 33 or 32, 30, and 28? Um, I missed my three daughters' proms and graduations. That was your choice. That was your choice. Did you think about this when you were playing Rock'em Sock'em with Jane's face? I missed taking one of my daughters to college. I've lost the freedom to teach my 2-year-old how to speak, how to dance, how to play, and be there to console her when she falls down or has a nightmare. Well, lucky for you, you have a knack for picking really good, kind-hearted women. Dana Tran seems like she is an amazing mother. And again, how to speak, dance, play, or be there. Oh my gosh. Again, can I say something? Are we not forgetting that the reason why Diddy is in MDC is because the feds accused him of federal witness tampering and obstruction of justice? You are in jail right now. You were denied bail because of illegal things you did, trying to think that you could game the system. And now, because of the illegal things that two judges and multiple things have had, now you want us to feel sorry that you weren't there because you could have been there. You could have been right now with Baby Love tucking her internet. You chose not to. You chose not to do that. You. Yo, I started from nothing. I worked hard to earn everything I had. But because of my conduct, I've lost all my businesses. I've lost my career. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Drop your bank statements because I don't believe you. I lost the charter schools that I started, and I've destroyed my reputation and stained the reputation of those that work with me. I lost my being present with my family. You, between of all my losses and lessons, I can state for a fact that I'll never be in another criminal courtroom again. And I do not believe any other person would do anything similar from fear of similar punishment, said the accused, who is sitting in bail because they couldn't stop effing around. So they found out. Says the person that when they talked about the violence inflicted, literally said, there's evidence that it was mutual violence. Said those people. Anyway, if you give me a chance, I would like the opportunity to share my story with people to prevent at least one person from making mistakes I've made. So you're trying to say that you shouldn't be held accountable and go to jail. You forget all your other inmates, because that's one of the more powerful thing if you told us about your inmates and how you guys all deserve, I don't know, right? But you're now saying that because you're above everyone and you're so special that if anybody can just touch your brilliance, they're going to be touched by an angel. You are now trying to say that if we give you a chance, if Judge Aaron gives you a chance, right? Look at me. I already think I'm Judge Aaron. Guilty. Go away. I'd like the opportunity to share my story with people to prevent at least one person from making the same mistakes I made. Luckily, there are laws and a million things to prevent men from turning into abusers. Clearly, you skipped all of them. You also tried to cover up your crimes. You also spent millions to call the victims liars. You're still calling them liars. You're saying it didn't happen. So if it didn't happen, it was just that one time, and because of that, let it go. But more importantly, you think that you're so exceptional that instead of being made to go to jail, you should become, by releasing you from jail, Judge Aaron can help make you the poster child. Judge Aaron can help make you the poster child for um somebody that's rehabilitated and someone that saw we do we really need you, because there are plenty of men who have done their time, truly repented, done amazing things that will be better out. You have literally been in jail for 1.67% of your life. And I hope that percentage does increase. Again, you guys, Diddy is out of it. This is the most narcissistic. This is actually pure comedy. Make me example. Make him example of what second chances look like. Baby, I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I know that God put me here to transform me. Since incarceration, I've gone through a spiritual reset. I'm on a journey that will take time and hard work, and you will be doing it in jail. I'm proud to say I'm working harder than I ever have before. Even harder than when the mother of your kids died and when you're dead. Okay. I'm committed to the journey of remaining a drug-free, nonviolent, and peaceful person. Thank God I'm stronger, wiser, clean, clear, and sober. God makes no mistakes. He doesn't. That's why your ass is sitting in the MDC and hopefully it sits in jail. God makes no mistakes. I realize that this trial has received a tremendous amount of global press, and Your Honor may be inclined to make an example out of me. I would ask Your Honor to make me an example of what a person can do if afforded a second chance. If you allow me to go home to my family, I promise I'll let you down. I'll make you proud. Today, I humbly ask you for another chance to be a better father, another chance to be a better son, another chance to be a better leader in my community, another chance to live a better life. When was Diddy ever a leader in the community? Not the Didiots, shout out to Chaos Forever, but when was he ever a leader? He talked a good game and he said he did a lot, but we found out that all those scholarships and everything was smoke and mirrors. He spent Tucci money. Yeah, he could have sent 20 kids to college every year. It wouldn't even made a dent. He didn't do shit for anybody but him and his freak offs and his family. And again, great. But you don't get point when you are a billionaire, you don't get points for taking care of your family. Now, if you work in a 9 to 5 and you only make them 1,500 a week and you are supporting your whole family, yeah, damn, you did that because that's a lot of sacrifice. But a billionaire supporting his family, that's nothing. I'm writing this not to gain any sympathy or pity. Lies. This experience is simply the truth of my existence and has changed my life forever. And I will never commit a crime again. Thank you for your consideration. Y'all, Diddy is a damn, Diddy is a damn liar. Listen, Diddy is a damn, he's a liar. Diddy is a liar. But also, he thinks everybody's stupid. And don't get me wrong, the Didiots, I don't even think the Didiots are stupid. I just think they're morally bankrupt, rent's due, they're washed up losers in life, or they're abusers themselves, or they're women that co-sign abusers. They're women that when women get abused, they're like, she lying. But what did you do to him? Did you say how you was in his face? Literally, I will say it. Everybody that supports Diddy is a washed up pick me. You gotta be young, dumb, and stupid to even be valued by misogynist men. Okay, you're not young, you are dumb, but you're not young, dumb. You gotta be young, dumb, and beautiful. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I'm not going to talk about anybody's looks. I will say that, like, the pick-me's that aged out to become bitter, they are the Diddy's biggest supporters because the only way a man like Diddy or anybody would ever look at you is if you turn into their mammy and find a way to run interference so they can continue their reign of terror. Listen, that letter was for real. Somebody said Carisha thinks she's exceptional. Carisha literally wrote a letter and didn't realize when she was like, Your Honor, I remember when he took me to the Met. I felt so alive. You're talking about his good deeds. Do you realize you were Diddy's charity case by taking to the Met and you kissed his feet for that because he took you to the Met? So sad that one of the biggest rap groups couldn't find a way to the Met. You want us to let Diddy out because he dressed you like what is it, like a slutty ostrich with pearls dripping down your tatas and you felt alive. While, if you remember at that wet Met, Diddy looked like he was out of his mind. He was sweating bullets. He had a look in people's face, and everybody was like, okay. And because of that, Young Miami wants us to let Diddy go. Again, a bunch of selfish people doing super, super, super selfish things. Listen. So what is this? What do we say to Diddy? I mean, we listen and we judge. We listen, say it with me, and we judge. Judge, lock his ass up. Judge Aaron, lock it up. Lock it up. Diddy, lock it up. I hope Judge, if I was Judge Aaron, this would make me even more mad. But the thing is with Diddy, and I think a lot of people, I think all y'all do, that's why y'all here. There is not a talent, but there is a certain level of dumbness where people really do fall for performative shit, where people really do fall for people's cries and mercies. Don't get me wrong. I'm a very, very soft-hearted person. Anybody that knows me, know. And I don't say that with pride because sometimes I'd be like, tighten up. You want to God soldiers, tighten up. Stop feeling like empathy for people that don't deserve it. The only thing that has saved me from being complete, like, preyed on is the fact that once I become familiar with your game, that's it. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And thank you, God, you made me quick to become quick, slower than I need to be, but pretty quick. We're becoming familiar with people's games. Once I become familiar with your game, and I smell performative. I smell the manipulation. I see that this, I see that. I see you for your works. That's it. You ain't getting no more empathy because once you do that, the mask is off and you see the person for their works and you're like, what are we really doing here? What do you expect me to do? Because of your cute kids and because of your cute mom, you want us to let you out and go prey on the villages? Why? Why? Do you realize that everybody in jail got somebody that loved them? Everybody in jail is sad they're in jail. Everybody in jail, if they had to do all over again, would do something else. Everybody in jail got people being like, no, they a good person. Even though on the other side of the court, they killed someone, they raped someone, they beat somebody up, they ruined somebody's life. Because you wrote this stupid letter, I mean, what about like what you did to Cassie's kid's mom? How about that? What about you? What you did to the generational curses you tried to start in everyone? You talking about you were providing for that woman and her child. You mean the same woman, Jane, that you sent home with black eyes while their kid is literally looking at them like, what's wrong with my mommy? You mean the person that you had screaming and yelling and traumatizing? It's like the level of, but again, these are the same people that want to live in a world where somebody can be a great man, but an abuser. A great father, but they don't ever see their kids. A great person, but they only do things that are sexually motivated. This letter was a joke. Speaking of, um, Judge Aaron said, because Diddy thought he got a win. Diddy thought he got a win uh uh with Diddy thought he got a win with everything. Um, Diddy prepared a 15-minute video that he's going to share with the court. And he thought he got a win, but the judge actually did say that Mia is going to be allowed to testify. She's going to be allowed to testify. So I know Diddy's upset at that because in Diddy's mind, everybody, everybody is a liar except for him. He is the only person that holds the truth. I'll tell you what, his entitlement is great. They said, so the judge ordered, hold on, what did the judge say? They said the government's motion is granted. The government cites United States v. Sansom, blah, 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 blah. They said in response, the defense cites no authority that would support exclusion of Mia from speaking during the sentencing hearing. Though the defense argues that Mia has been discredited, it doesn't explain why she should be excluded, given the defense will, of course, be afforded a fair opportunity to respond to any remarks that Mia offers. Mia's probably set to spill some tea, and that's what Diddy's worried about. And let's not forget, right? When Mia was on the stand, she was very tightly constrained by both sides as to what she could address, as to what she could say. You guys don't realize it, but there was a big dance going on outside of all testimony where the defense was fighting to have so much stuff thrown out. Okay. Now that Mia said she can let that chopper sing, she can tell us what really happened. The stuff the jury couldn't hear, the stuff that Diddy's team like struggled to make sure that it was thrown out. Baby, we love to see it. Um, Again, this is going to be a long day. I will be there for the whole day. I'll be there on Monday too if it spills over. Don't you worry. I will say that yeah, this is a lot. It is a lot. Also, it is going to be a 15-minute video, but the gags on Diddy because Judge Aaron ordered that the judge ordered that the prosecution will have to get that 15-minute video in advance. So I love to see it. I wish that Maureen Comey was here to argue this. She is not, but you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. Anyway, what y'all think in the chat? Hold on really quick, right? What y'all think? Listen, listen, I truly do hope. Nobody's saying that Diddy has to die in jail. I do think, right? I do think that Diddy needs to pay for his actions, and I think an appropriate judgment will be 11 years, right? Um, Again, the Jamie wants to know, I wonder what the jury thinks now that they heard some of the stuff that was thrown out. I don't think the jury thinks anything. I remember the jury cruelly laughing along while Mark Agnifilio was saying Cassie, basically calling her a whore, saying she was buck wild, she was a gangster, Cassie loved to juggle men, she was a juggler, she was this and that. They don't think shit. They probably still stand behind their decision. One of the girls sitting in there, or not girls, but one of the jurors sitting there had her mind the whole time was looking like she knew she was going to let Diddy off. I don't think the jury thinks anything. One thing about humans I do know, once they make a decision, especially if it's the wrong one and everybody comes down, they literally double and triple down on that. People don't change their mind, sadly enough, when they are wrong at all. They don't. They double down on it. They want to be even more stubborn. It takes a very special type of, not even special, but it takes a very self-aware and enlightened person, an empathetic person to change their minds when evidence has shown that they were very, very off. It does. And I think that if they had that type of critical thinking skills, I don't think they ever would have came to that jury in the first place, that verdict in the first place. That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Exactly. Kerry Johnson said 2 paragraphs in, and he made it all about him. He's a lover. He's a fighter. He's a survivor. He did what every narcissist does, says that he thinks. Oh, Chaos Forever said Tootsie Roll can go catch up with Suge Knight. Exactly. He made it, he did the narcissistic playbook. He lied. He said grandiose things. He said that he bought peace in the unit, but now he's scared for his life. He says he's changing people's lives. Um, he's just this mythical creature. And you know what I do think he'll do to next to make some money? Mark my words, whether he's released or not, Diddy is going to write a tell-all book. He's going to write a tell-all book from his notes and diaries because everything with this man can be monetized. Everything with this man. All right. Oh, LA Young, what time? Oh, simple. So the trial's supposed to be at 10 a.m. Um it's supposed to be at 10 a.m. It's supposed to be all day, but you know I'm going to be running in and out giving y'all updates. Don't worry about that. Lena said, "Do you think Maureen Comey will be sitting in the courtroom eating her popcorn?" Oh, Lena, Lena, Lena. If Maureen Comey is in that courtroom, I will live. I will MF and live if Maureen Comey is in that courtroom. You guys, literally, I think that Diddy actually will get some time. I pray Diddy gets some time. And again, this isn't personal against Diddy. It's really not. Um, and people are like, what you got against that man? Nothing. You can change his name to Diddy, Schmitty, Pity, Michael, Chad, Hassan, Malik, Enabro. Oh, throw in any name you want. You can change his name to Mary, Sally, Alice. I don't care. Anyone that treats human beings like that, I don't care how rich you are, I don't care how poor you are, I don't care who you are. Anybody that treats human beings like this, does listen, they deserve to rot in hell. They really honestly do. The world is being overrun by people that think like Diddy, act like Diddy. On top of that, it's being overrun with a bunch of idiots, right? And dumb, dusty pick-me's that age past their prime, if they ever had a prime. The literally, and again, when I say prime, I'm not talking about looks. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about like, like when you still like love the world and have faith in the world and like an innocence that only comes from loving your neighbor. Trishawn W said, no matter what these haters try to say, never stop being Tisa Tells. We love you. P.S. He's doing everything but holding himself accountable. I know that's right. Trishawn, you don't have to worry. I don't care what those haters say. As a matter of fact, that's my barometer, or if I'm popping or not. Because the better I do, the more they scream and yell. When they go too quiet, I'm like, oh, hold on. I've been on vacation for too long. Let me get back and remind them. That's the thing. When you got hate, and again, I think a lot of the haters also, I think they really, really hate me because I think that like I do have a strong moral compass. I'm not saying I'm a Girl Scout. I'm just saying that there are just certain things in this world that I'm like, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. There's certain things in this world that it's like we cannot allow. I'm not going to allow it. And if there's a channel and I have a voice, I'm going to talk about it. I don't sweep violence against women, children, or men under the counter. I don't, there's just certain things. The depravity that Diddy had, the generational curses that he made, no. And whether this is Diddy, a billionaire, we all know him, or whether it's the guy down the street that every night his wife be like having makeup over her bruises, it's going to be the same smoke. It's going to be the same smoke, no matter what. So listen, you guys, we are in this to win this. Never let anybody tell you different. Hopefully, we see justice served. I think that after uh, all these rulings from Judge Aaron, I think Diddy realizes that, yeah, they got through the jury, but Judge Aaron, I think, sings Diddy's for his work. I think he's going to get somewhere between 5 and 7 years. Either that or he might get 9 or 10 years, and then he gets time served, which will bring it down to 7 years, 3 months. What y'all think? Really quick before I go, I want to take a poll. What y'all think in the audience? Where are we at? Hold on. Where are we at? What y'all think he's gonna get? Listen, idiots they are so funny. Yep. Just like the devil, Diddy is making the same mistake, thinking he is God. You know what happened next? He didn't have a million songs talking about I'm God. Diddy really did thing. And again, I get it. He even somehow beat a RICO case, but I think that's because Brian Still's team is really, really good. And Mark Agnifilio clearly too. I think they're really, really good at picking out juries. They got a bad jury. Who okay, so listen. Somebody says Valentine says 10. Donna W says 10. Love Cat says 11. Maria Berea said 10, but I think he'll serve 7, 8 years. Carrie Johnson says 10. Isabel, the Velez team, LA Real Estate. Shout out to, if you need real estate in LA, check out the Velez, VELEZ team. She'll get you right. She said 10, 10 years. Love Cat said 11. House of Glam said 10. What's up, Jamie? Aisha Lavalette Gramble, what's up? Said, I agree, at least 5 years. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, JLS. No pity for Diddy. Marie Carroll said, I hope no less than 10 years, and I hope he catches a new case to add more time. Exactly, you guys. I do think, again, oh, I had Lauren on. If you guys are following the David case, go ahead and check. I have Lauren Connell on, and she said, she reminded me, I actually didn't even know this. I guess she told me, federal prisons don't have early release for parole. You might get a little commuted sentence for time served. I mean, good behavior, but it's just a little. They don't have any at all. They don't have any parole. So if he gets 10 years and yeah, time served, he's going to be doing that full 7 years, that full 5 years, that full 6 years, unless he gets, Nicole Ely said 14. I love the way that sounds. I wish. Dread Maga said, Count Chocula Castle. Imagine being stuck there with the people. Yikes. Exactly. Danielle. Oh, I remember that that Count Chocula Castle. That was no joke. Danielle Ferenzi said, where will he serve his time? I don't know. I think when you go to federal prison, you can't serve it in a state that you live in. So he's lived in New York, Miami, and LA, so it'll probably be somewhere in the Midwest. Maria Barrera said, oh, I didn't think that exactly. And Empress 444 said, as he should. I know that's right. I know that's right. Anyway, you guys, listen. Let me get out of here. I'm going to drop a few more videos tonight, but don't forget, tomorrow I'll be up early doing a live. We'll be at the courthouse, in and out. It's going to be a big day. Let's actually see what comes up. All right. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody. Okay, wait. How do I turn this stream off? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I don't know how to turn the stream off. Okay, we're gonna be on this merry road together. How are we gonna do this?